just the reason I chose this is I've been kind of involved in the moon, different type things, just in learning about it more due to Apple TV Plus's new release, For All Mankind. If you don't know what that show is, basically what it is a show about the U.S. and the time of the Apollo 11 launch and their race with Russia to get to the moon first. But in this episode series, the Russians actually beat the Americans to the moon first, and so it kind of looks at the world and how it would look like if the Americans didn't make it to the U.S. to the moon first, and the Russians did. And so it's just been interesting seeing different aspects of the moon, moon landing there, and how it would have affected us, or could have affected us as a whole country, if Russia would have ended up landing on the moon before we did. So what I wanted to kind of do is just go through some different facts about what the moon landing was and different things that took place to help it come into contact there, and for us to actually get to the moon. To start off, the first moon landing was on July 24th of 1969. And so, we were able to get there in the Apollo 11 mission. So kind of like the first fact here about the moon landing is the original goal of the Apollo program. What was that? It was actually to send the crew just into the moon's orbit to start off, just to figure out how, the moon worked, what the gravity was, try to figure out what was going on around the moon first before we actually landed on there, because we didn't really know anything about it. And then secondly was Richard Nixon actually had a speech in case the astronauts didn't make it back. He had something prepared for it, just in case, the worst came to worst and they crash landed. We've never done something like this before, so to get on the first try would be pretty miraculous. And so part of that speech that he had was quoting, "The fate has ordained that men who went to the moon to explore in peace will stay on the moon to rest in peace." Just kind of a message to get out to the country. They went in peace and they're going to rest there in peace. And I think that was a big part of the moon race. Even though we were competing with Russia there, trying to get through everything, and we were in the Cold War, it really was wanting to be in peace on the moon, not wanting to bring the war and other things up there. The third fact here are the actual pieces of the Wright brothers' first aircraft were brought up there with the astronauts to the moon. Think about the different aspects of that. Just learning, the Wright brothers learning how to fly and everything. Now we're actually leaving the Earth and in a spaceship going to the moon. They had trouble getting off of the ground just about 2 feet even. We're about to go thousands of feet above the air, out of our own atmosphere. And an interesting fact about that is Lance Armstrong actually was able to keep some of those Wright brother artifacts. The company let him keep some of them, and if he took them up, so he got to keep some of them, and that would be a pretty cool memorabilia to have there, especially as a astronaut, someone involved in the flying world, getting to keep some of those artifacts. The fourth fact that we've got here is Apollo 11 actually landed in the wrong place, where the Eagle had them landing. To start, ended up being a bunch of boulders and things, so they weren't able to land there. So Lance Armstrong had taken control of the spaceship there and landed it manually to help guide them to a safe landing. You think about this really being the first landing on the moon there. You have those automated programs. You're hoping that works, and it doesn't, so then you got to kind of go and fly by yourself and hope that everything works out for the best. And they were low on fuel anyways, and it was about 30 seconds left of fuel before they were able to actually land. So the timing of everything was just miraculous, and really just amazing that they were able to really accomplish this feat.